Yo, what's going on, guys? Johnny GB here, bringing you something new here to the channel, TCG wise. We're gonna do deck building Fridays, just to add some more TCG content, just because I enjoy playing the TCGO slash TCG card game. And what I'm gonna be doing today is a short deck building profile. I found a deck online that I think is actually a very solid deck, which would actually be a very good deck to try to build. So we're going to go in here into the deck manager, and this is an anti-meta deck, so it's not going to be your standard deck that you're going to find. I think we can trash the Sceptile EX deck. Nah, we'll keep it there. But we're going to build a new deck here for the standard format, so legal for 2016-2017 play. And the base of the deck is Scizor slash Mega Scizor. Oh, excuse the cough there. So what we need here is 3 copies of Mega Scizor, 4 copies of regular Scizor. A lot of Mega Evolution lines in the TCG usually run 4-3-3. So they run 4 of the basic here, so just the basic Scizor, and then 3 of the Mega Evolution. Now, if you're looking to play Mega Scizor EX, you can find these in the Breakpoint booster set. So keep an eye out for Breakpoint booster sets. That's actually what I'm going to be going through right now in TCGO Thursdays, or just TCG Thursdays here on the channel. Is we're going to be building up enough points so that I can build up this Mega Scizor EX deck. Now, another Pokemon that you're going to want to run in a Mega Scizor deck, or any EX based deck. This is a mandatory card for any EX based deck, and that is Hoopa EX. Its ability right here, Scoundrel Ring. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, I can search up for up to 3 EX Pokemon, except for Hoopa, show them, and then put them into my hand. So right away you can load your bench up. If you open up Trubbish and Hoopa, you can play your Trubbish down on the bench, and then your Trubbish down onto your active, throw your Hoopa down onto your bench, throw down 3 more EXs, and really put your opponent into a tough spot. You guys did hear me say Trubbish, and that is because there is another engine in this deck that makes this deck function, and that is the Garbodor from Breakpoint, I believe, as well. So we're running 2 and 2 on the Trubbish Garbodor. Now, Garbodor has this ability, Garbotoxin, which, as long as it has a tool card attached to it, each Pokemon that are in our hands or on the field or discard pile has no abilities, which is very good going against decks like Greninja Break, like Mega Mewtwo, or not Mega Mewtwo, like Greninja Break, like Volcanion, like Zygarde. It's able to shut down Shaman, so your opponent can't draw 6 or get up to 6 cards in their hand off of a Shaman. So Garbodor, very good card to get, and I believe it's Breakpoint as well. Yep. So Garbodor is also found in Breakpoint as a holo rare. And that is the extent of the Pokemon you're going to run in this set, or in this deck. Other cards that are very good, as we're going to go here under the trainers, is Crushing Hammer. Now, this is very good to counter decks such as Mewtwo, which can give Scizor some fits, because Mewtwo rely on your opponent stacking a lot of energy. The very good thing about Mega Scizor decks is Mega Scizor does not run many energies. So you guys see here, just 2 energies for 120 damage is actually very good damage. 2 hit, it 2-Kos a lot of the Megas that don't have Fighting Fury belt attached on them. So it's a very good trainer to have. It's also good to knock off energies from Pokemon like Volcanion, like Zygarde, those decks that function very similarly, along with other meta decks such as Audino Circuit, and I believe the new one that's up and coming is Yveltal Break. So, the Crushing Hammer, 3 copies, very good card to keep in hand. Next card we're going to be wanting to run here, because we have Mega Evolutions, is Mega Turbo. Now we're going to want 2 copies of Mega Turbo. And this is just a good card to help you get energies onto your Mega Scizor if you do not have any. So basically you attach a basic energy card from your discard pile onto your Mega Evolution Pokemon. Very simple. Next up, in this deck, we're going to want 3 copies of Trainer's Mail. Now this is really just to deck thin, make sure you can get to your important trainers, your important supporters right away. So that's why there is 3 copies of that. Next up, we're going to run with 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Now this is just in case you end up with 2 Trainer's Mail, you end up with 2 Sycamore, and you just need to discard some cards to bring out a Garbodor or a Mega Scizor if you don't, or even your Hoopa. Hoopa is the ideal play off of an Ultra Ball, especially if your board is fairly empty early on in the game and you still have an Ultra Ball. You can always Ultra Ball for that Hoopa, slap it down, and now you got your 3 EXs onto your bench, or 2 EXs and a Mega Scizor in hand. After that, we're going to do another very good card, and that being Versus Seeker. We're going to be running 4 copies of Versus Seeker. These are just a mandatory here. Versus Seeker, put a supporter from my discard pile into my hand. This allows you to get your Lysandres, your Ents, your Sycamores back into your hand, or your Team Flare Grunts to deal with some of those as it lagged really bad there for a second, as it you can get into your big play, get into your game-changing plays. That's what I'm trying to say there. Game-changing plays with Sycamore. Maybe your hands, you got 1 card hand of Versus Seeker. You can Versus Seeker for a Sycamore, get that Sycamore, play it, draw 7. Next up, we're going to be running 2 copies of Lysander. I'm trying to get the full art of these, but 2 copies of Lysander is plenty for this deck. Lysander basically just switching one of my opponent's bench Pokemon for their active, so maybe we're going against a Garbodor Mewtwo deck. Allows us to really just get rid of their Garbodor with our Mewtwo. Or if they have a Shaman in the back that Mega Scizor can take out, get rid of that Shaman so that he can't end up putting a double colorless on that Shaman, using its attack, getting added back to his hand, and then allowing him to draw 6 the next turn. Alright, after Lysander, we're going to be running 3 copies of N. Now, N is almost a staple, especially if you're behind late game. This is actually a very good card to have because of the ability to force your opponent to possibly draw 2 cards when they have a full hand. And if you're down, it allows you to get a few more cards into your hand if you're really struggling or in a tight spot. So N, very good card to have into this deck. And last of these supporters we're going to be rolling with is Professor Sycamore. Now, this is a very common supporter in almost every deck. Discard your hand, draw 7 cards. Very situational card. Very good card if used properly as well. Oh, that is not the last of the supporters. This is the last of the supporters. A Team Flare Grunt, discard an energy attached to your opponent's Pokemon. Just one of them. Just in case you're not getting those coin flips with Crushing Hammer. Team Flare Grunt will be able to do that job. Then next up, we're also going to need a couple copies of Reverse Valley. Now, oh, nope, not Reverse Valley. Oh, nope, wrong card. It is Parallel City is what we're looking for. So we're going to need 2 copies of Parallel City. As you guys see, I only have 1, and I got to see what booster set that's from. But what Parallel City does is I can choose which way the card is facing, and if I point the red side, the bottom half, towards my opponent, I can reduce the damage of grass, fire, or water attacks by 20. So that helps with Mega Scizor. And then if I face the blue side toward me, I can only have 3 bench Pokemon, which is fine. But mostly I want my opponent to have the 3 bench Pokemon on his side. So decks that like to spam the field like Zygarde, like Yveltal, like not really Greninja Break, but Mewtwo, Mega Mewtwo. They like to have a nice full bench. Limiting them to only 3 Pokemon really limits to whether some decks can use Garbodor and have a full bench of Megas. Some have to get rid of their Shaymins. So 2 copies of Parallel City, very good card, and especially with Mega Scizor's attack here. Looking at Mega Scizor's attack, I can discard a special energy to my opponent's Pokemon or a Stadium card in play. So if I can see that the Stadium's hurting me and I have no way to remove it, Mega Scizor will be able to do that for me. And then I think that might be the last of the trainers. Oh, nope. Yeah, some very important trainers. So what we have here is we're going to need 3 copies of Floatstone. This is so that I can attach it onto Garbodor. Very important that this gets attached onto Garbodor because of its ability Garbotoxin needing a tool card attached to it. And finally, the last of the trainers in the deck, we need 4 copies of Scizor Spirit Link. This just really helps out with balance in the deck, making sure I have enough Scizor Spirit Links to attach onto my regular Scizors. Just in case one Scizor Spirit Link gets discarded via Sycamore or is prized up, I always have 3 more backups. And then last but not least, we're going to be rolling with, if I can find them, 10 copies of Metal Energy. So just 10 energy because Scizor do not use that many energy in the deck. So it's a very good card to have. And I did forget the last Pokemon here. We need 2 copies of Shaymin EX. So looking at this realistically, I need to get 3 more Scizors. I need to get 1 more Mega Scizor. So when we're doing TCGO lives, or TCGO Thursdays, TCG Thursdays, whatever they're called, we're going to be actually focusing on the Breakpoint booster packs. And seeing as I have 384, wait, I need to save this deck. So there's an overview of the deck here. We're going to save this deck here. And we're going to see what coin we can use. I think we might use that Mega Metagross coin, honestly. Yeah, we're going to roll with that Mega Metagross coin. The deck box we're going to use, I think we might use that Generations box. Yeah, we're going to roll with the Generations box. And the sleeves, we can just roll with the Generations sleeves. And we're going to name this Mega Scizor Garb. And I got time to open up one booster pack here to see if we have... see if we can get a Mega Scizor EX. Has 2-pack Regice bundle. What packs do we get? Ancient Origins and a Breakpoint. That's actually not bad. But for now, we're just going to go in. We're going to go into the booster packs here. Is there any specials on them? Nope. Alright, so we're going to go into Breakpoint. We're going to buy a Breakpoint booster pack. Just to open up here to end this Deck Tech Friday. Or Deck Building Friday. Whatever. I'll think of names for this. Here we go. We're just going to open up. We did pull another Trubbish, which is nice. So we have Esper, Trubbish, Drowsy, Rattata, Ducklet, Dunsparce, Puzzle of Time, All Night Party. The reverse in the pack is a Trevenant, which is not bad for Trevenant break, and the rare in the pack is a Darkrai EX. That's actually very good because another deck I'm looking to build is actually Darkrai Yveltal, which is a very popular deck from the recent San Jose Regionals. So it's very good to get a Darkrai here. But if you guys enjoyed today's Deck Building Fridays, go ahead, leave a like on the video. Let me know what deck you want to see next. Once I get these decks built, I will do showcases with them. You guys will see them on TCGO Thursdays. But until then, guys, I'm Johnny GB, and I'm out.